Hello, and welcome to another episode of That Made Your List, a weekly podcast where an average, ordinary film fan, that's me, introduce other average, ordinary film fans. Joining me again this week is Tony. Hello again, Tony.
Hey up.
And we will be finishing off Tony's list. We've got halfway through. We'll jump straight into it. And what's your favourite film from your childhood?
Right, so favourite from childhood is one that came out when I was 3 years old, and pretty much the series I grew up with, like at the perfect age for every movie. So when I put this one, I mean like the three of the trilogy. Screw the fourth one; it does not exist in my life, which is Toy Story.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes me feel very, very old when you say you were 3 when this came out. I was 20 when this came out.
Oh
yes, thank you. I was only 3. Yeah, cheers for that.
welcome.
Absolutely. Taking it as a complete whole, it is as perfect a trilogy as you'll get in cinema. Yeah. Not just animation, not just Disney, not just Pixar. In all of cinema, it is as perfect a trilogy as you'll get. And yes, we will burn for its.
It's a good animation film, but it does not deserve to be on that level.
No, not at all.
But
it's I've always the missing years that no one ever asked for.
Yeah, I've always said the Toy Story trilogy is the greatest trilogy of all time. Like it's just because every other trilogy there's always one that falters. Like Godfather, you have Godfather Part 3. Star Wars, you have Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings, you have all of them, but especially the Two Towers. Fight me. Lord of the Rings are the worst films. Lord of the Rings are the films for the nerds that want to look smart and pretend that they read the books, but instead they just watched 20 hours of fucking people walking around.
I read the books because I heard the films were coming out.
I forced myself to watch Fellowship once, never again. I have tried. Prior to that, I watched maybe 10 times. I can never get through the party scene because it was just so tedious. I've tried the books, I've tried the movie, I've tried even the Ringo Starr animated one.
Oh my lord.
Lord of the Rings is trash, and people that like it are trash people.
Okay. Right, so, Toy Story.
Toy Story, the greatest trilogy of all time.
The greatest trilogy of all time.
It was just that perfect of just, it worked so perfectly from like when the movies came out and when I watched them. I was the same age as Andy really was. So like it came out when I was 3. I really watched it when I was like 5 or 6, same age Andy was at that time. Toy Story 2 came out in 99. I was 7. I really got like I would have watched it then, but it would have really connected to me about 9 or 10. Then Toy Story 3, I remember watching it. I was 17. It's like that, and it's like the realization of the becoming an adult, like putting away childish things. So that biblical verse, when I was a child, I act like a child, play like a child, all that stuff. When I was an adult, I put all the childish things away. I know I got a theology degree. It's weird. It's like that, just like intersected with that, and it's just like this plethora of just like, okay, this is like speaking to me directly at where I am in my life right now. So this trilogy is just like, it is my childhood stowed in story.
Absolutely. It builds. If you go back and take the trilogy as a whole as well, as good as Toy Story 1 is, 2 builds on it, 3 completes it. You can't. Of the 3, I prefer 3. 3 is for me caps it brilliant because it builds.
Yeah,
because it builds on them all.
3 is the most emotional one, but if you give me the option of watching any of them, I'll watch the first one just because it's just like got that more joyous atmosphere to it.
Yeah, a 3, I think I actually teared up in the cinema watching it. Bear in mind, I would have been probably around about 30 by the time that came out. Then.
Oh, I cried like a little child and found my teddy bear I had since I was 2 days old and just cuddled it for like 20 minutes, just like never let give up.
Yeah, it's. The humour in it is so perfectly pitched that children will laugh at it.
Yeah.
But something that Pixar do so very, very well is they're that's for you, child, but the tack-on joke on the end of it, that's for the parents that you're laughing at and the kids are laughing at because your parents are laughing at. But they're thinking, oh my god, I can't believe they said that.
they have that dual layer comedy. There's the joke that the children will understand and the joke that the adult will understand, and both can mix together and be so amazing.
Yes.
It's so well, like most of Pixar, especially in that early time, is so well written. It's so beautifully done. It's remarkable how good they did a job of it.
No, absolutely. Oscar nominated, original song in You Got a Friend in Me, and then score as well, and best writing screenplay written directly for the screen. So yes, didn't win any of them.
It should have. It's one of those things where
You Got a Friend
animation...
in Me should have of if you're going to. I mean, I know there's another group out there that have done a Disney film tournament, and amongst us, that You've Got a Friend in Me should have been a lot higher.
Yeah, well, it's one of those ones where it's a Pixar. It's not Never This Rain Should Meet, really, because then you're fighting things like you've Never Had a Friend Like Me, which
is in the final. But yeah.
Yeah, and obviously this was recorded this day it came out. We don't know what won, so Kenneth Lee, give us the intake.
Yeah.
Also, pay us, Kenneth.
Yes.
Pay us, Ken.
Yeah. Again, going on to the tie-ins for the adults, it's got a wonderful link to The Shining with it. Toy Story 1. The carpet in Sid's house.
Oh, it is shit.
Matches exactly the carpet in The Shining in the Overlook Hotel.
I've never put that together. Jesus, that makes a ton of sense.
Exactly. It's so closely it can't be anything but intentional.
Yeah.
Because that pattern is so distinctive, you can't accidentally come. Oh yeah, well, let's just do a pattern like this.
Let's do hexagons on the floor with like an orange. It's like it's one of those films where there are all those nods as well, which work so beautifully.
Yes.
That like if you are a film lover, it's just like, oh yeah, there's like 20, 30 things you can notice of him. Like it's such well done. And I remember it's one of those movies that I just like it never left a video player.
No, absolutely.
It's
the first one that my eldest had or anything like that was Cars. We went through 2 DVDs of that because it got played on a loop. Almost.
Nice.
Yeah. So Toy Story was the first animated film in Oscar history to be nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah.
It's quite an impressive feat in its own there. Obviously, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. I don't think you could get two better voices for Buzz and Woody.
It's like Tom Hanks is Woody. Like there's never the two should twain. If anyone ever tries to do his voice apart from his brother, they'll be held to pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ever see that thing about anything that Woody in the movie is always Tom Hanks? If it's anything that isn't from the movie, it's always his brother.
No, I didn't know. Is that right?
Like any product, like the other stuff at Disney World is always Tom Hanks' brother because he got him as a job because they worked together on their voice and it was like, oh shit, yeah, we got him.
Oh, that's impressive. That's cool. I like that.
And Tim Allen, because what else is he going to do? Shoot more Last Man Standings?
Yeah, that's true. Billy Crystal was originally offered to be Buzz, but turned it down, and he said since it's the biggest mistake of his career. Personally, I think that's City Slickers too, but
but it wouldn't have worked with Billy Crystal because he's got too much joy. Buzz had to be that like machismo, like that Tim Allen had, like the home improvement. Like he had to have that tiny bit of hard-assness to him.
Yeah. No, it's all the way through it, and the voices of Potato Head and Slinky and everything that it's nailed. It's a great film. Okay, very very similar to this though. Favorite film for your childhood was Toy Story or the trilogy as such. What's your favorite animated film?
It's another Pixar film. It's not Toy Story. It's the film that if you ask me what character I am, I'll go to is Sully and Monsters Inc.
You're not. You're Randall.
Are they? No, think about it. I'm 6'1".
Yep.
I kind of look intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
I work with kids.
Yep.
I'm a big, cuddly toy when it comes to like messing around with children. Okay. That I am Sully to a T.
Okay.
That is that's a character that when I loved that movie when it first came out. I remember crying in the cinema when they had to send Boo home, and then I watched it like 7 years ago when I got into childcare, and it was just like, holy shit, this movie did have a ton of impact on me. I'm Sully. I'm dressing up and messing around with little Boos.
Yeah.
That's who I've turned into in my life.
Yeah.
Apart from the ogre.
Obviously.
It gets to the point where I'm still trying to get it done where I want to get a tattoo of Sully's skull.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
just like, I think that'll just look so beautiful and just like,
That's cool.
yeah. But yeah, I think whereas Toy Story is one of the best children's films, I think that Monsters Inc. just takes a whole nother level of just like the perfect animated film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's so much to it. Like the action scenes are so fantastic in it with the fights out the doors,
Yes.
and it's just like the story itself is just that top-notch level. Like, yeah, well, we mentioned Billy Crystal for
Yeah.
Buzz. Like, Mike Wazowski, that character is Billy Crystal. I think it would be a hard time arguing which character is better suited for Billy Crystal, Mike or Harry.
No, it's he is perfect. His style of humor, Billy Crystal's style of humor, is perfect for the character that is Mike Wazowski. John Goodman, again, for a big character like Sully, you need to have someone able to fill that get a voice coming from that body. And John Goodman, again, is another one that's perfectly cast in there, as is Steve Buscemi as Randall.
As Randall.
Yes.
Like, probably the best villain in Pixar.
Just looking up along there. Sid's got to be up there.
Sid, like, Randall's an absolute bastard. Sid, you feel sorry for.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why Sid is like that. He's a child that's like, you look at in his house, that where's the mother? It's like, he's being allowed to just like, this sadomasochism part of him just to grow because of like this unloved. And then you see in Toy Story 3 as well, he's the bin man.
Yeah.
It's like, you just have this like, oh, buddy, come here.
Yeah. I absolutely adore. I mean, I'm a massive Pixar fan, as you could tell from previous conversation here. Monsters Inc. hit with me with Boo. Boo broke my heart when she was in there, and she's tearing up, and it keys into the whole when you're a kid of the monster in the closet. It's a fantastic take on. Well, yeah, there is a monster in your closet. No, there really is, but you don't know he's there until it's too. Yeah, it just. I love it. I love the film.
It's so perfect, and you just go into it just like expecting just like your regular like Pixar. Like, it's good, but it's like it's not gonna be Toy Story. But it's like, oh crap.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Monsters University, on the other hand,
I not got a clue what you're on about.
it does not exist.
No, I've never heard of this thing. What are you on about?
It's a video game. It's a video game. That's
okay.
Yeah. No, it gives us the backstory, obviously, but it's yeah.
It's one of those where Disney got their hands too much into Pixar and was like, no, you need to do
We made some more money.
remakes. Yeah. Go on. Quickly, we need another 200 million.
Yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, well we've done Cars 2. It's coming out of there. We've done Toy Story now. What's that? Oh yeah, we've not done a sequel to Monsters Inc. Oh no, we've not got a story. Okay, let's do a prequel. Yeah.
We wrapped up the story perfectly. No, you haven't. Get back to work, slaves.
Back to work. Okay. Fantastic. Again, it's another one with the Pixar's, how they drop in little bits into all the films that are in there. In Boo's room, there is a little Nemo toy.
They do.
And I think there's a Jessie doll in there as well, if I remember rightly.
So I think that was the first film that had it prevalent of the character, the next movie.
Yeah. Yes. But no, fantastic.
Yeah. And also, if you ever watched the behind the scenes stuff, the stuff that they do to capture Boo's essence is so remarkable, because it's Mary Gibbs, who was, if I'm not mistaken, the daughter of one of the animators.
Yes, I think so.
It was like just this really interesting way of just like literally just letting her play and just like, and then just figuring out just like, okay, that could be the sound for when she's doing this, like, and then like, oh, we need to make it sad, like, how are we going to do that without like traumatizing her?
Yeah, trying to make a kid sound like she's scared without actually scaring a kid. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Moving on. What is your favourite quote from any film?
So this film is terrible. It's transphobic. I hate it. But blank should dive gonorrhea and rot in hell. I use constantly from Ace Ventura.
Okay.
If anyone slightly pisses me off, I wish them gonorrhea, death, and to rot in hell.
All right. Okay.
It's just
I've seen Ace Ventura. It's a long while since I've seen it. But
don't go back to it.
Okay, I won't now. But I don't remember the line either. So it comes.
It's the one that Mrs. Finkel says, the mother of the.
Right. Okay.
Kicker.
Right.
So when Dan Marino should die of gonorrhea and rot in hell.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, it's.
yeah.
I've been using that line for years now, and it's just I went back and watched it like I think earlier this year, getting ready for a match, and it was just like, dear God, this is dreadful. Dear God. Oh, and here's the transphobia.
Yeah, it's
Great.
most of Jim Carrey's humour ones don't date very well anyway. Yeah, they're all very much of a. The only one that really, I quite like Dumb and Dumber still.
Never got around to it.
Yeah, it's of an age and it's of a type. It's Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. Like we said before with Nicolas Cage, it's Nicolas Cage doing this and that. It's Jim Carrey.
It's the other
being
person,
Jim Carrey.
the reason why I don't watch it for. Because I'm a massive Sorkin fan, and I watch the Newsroom. I can't see Jeff Daniels doing comedy. It'll ruin me.
It will ruin Newsroom for you, yes.
I just can't go.
Love that series.
It's so good.
Yes.
Right. I listened to the That's How I Got to Memphis probably daily, which was the song they played they did at the last episode.
Yes.
That's like that show is just like that. West Wing, and there's nothing will beat it.
Yeah, West Wing is by far for me is the best TV series of ever.
If I can forget who wrote it, Father Ted is number one. If Graham Linehan has said something stupid and racist and transphobic, it drops down.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So if you ever watch anything MBE related, you would notice me just mentioning just in the background, people should get gonorrhea and die and rot in hell.
Okay, I shall keep an ear out for it now. I must admit, I hadn't noticed it before. I'm going to have to, I think, it's a ding, ding, ding every time.
There's one particular match where I think it gets cut out, but I said it like 20 times to a few people.
Fantastic. Oh, that's great. Okay, right. Yeah, there's not really much follow-up you can say on today. It's just a quote. What's your favourite quote?
Yeah, I just like telling people to get gonorrhea and die.
And why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
And why shouldn't? Okay, who is your favourite actor or actress?
Okay, so this one's a weird one, but it's someone that I would watch a movie because they're in it. It's someone that I know is going to elevate even a shit movie to be something decent or good because they always give good performances.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, she's just like the coolest person ever, Mila Kunis.
Okay.
Like forgetting Sarah Marshall, she's fantastic in Friends with Benefits, Black Swan, Date Night, Book of Eli, Ted, Odds Are Great and Powerful, Jupiter Ascending. It's a terrible film, but she's great in it. Bad Mums is
cool.
It's an underrated film.
I like Bad Mums.
Yeah, Spy Who Dumped Me. Caleb Bowman has a go at me all the time for liking Spy Who Dumped Me. It's a good film because of Kunis and Kate McKinnon. Plot drops off after like halfway through, but they drag it along the end.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those people where if she's in a movie, it's at least going to be passable.
Yes. Okay.
And it's the that Martin Scorsese, not Martin Scorsese, Al Pacino recently came out and said that he chooses bad movies to try and make them mediocre.
Right.
Mila Kunis kind of does the same. She'll go into a movie and just make it good because she's there.
Right. Okay. So I'm just looking through IMDb now. Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. Okay.
All right, we're not going to talk about the other stuff. Let's talk about the stuff post-70s show.
She was in Gia. She was in Gia, age 11 with the Angelina Jolie film. Yeah.
She was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about her
The
post Family 70s show and like
post 70s show
during
and moving onwards.
during the time of
Yeah, she's got a
during the
lot of
time of
films
Family
in there.
Guy.
She's got a lot of films in there that
Yeah.
I've seen and thought, oh, actually, yeah, I quite like that one that she's in with the Book of Eli, as you say. Their Date Night, I quite enjoy. Friends with Benefits, I've seen in the background as I was doing something else. Ted, I don't know how I feel about Ted. If I'm being really honest, I used to like it, then watched
Ted
it
is a movie.
once.
Ted is a movie I should hate because I used to work in call center and there was this guy called Michael
Yeah,
whose phone name was Anthony,
right.
and because apparently travel agents are so stupid, you can't have two people with the same name. So Michael refused to change his name to Michael, even though everyone called him Michael. So I had to go by a different name, so I went by Ted. And it's literally like I've been given the DVD of Ted and Daddy Daycare the most of any, and I still like those films.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
I've, for some reason, I had her down as being one of the ones that was from High School Musical. I don't know why.
no,
No, who
I
am I
think
thinking of?
Vanessa Hudgens you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Again, reasons why
But
I don't do very well in trivia matches.
yeah, I don't do that either. But it's just one of those bit like you could go with like your basic like, oh yeah, Rob De Niro because he does such good performances. But it's like I don't get a joy from seeing their name on a poster.
Yeah.
Like I know it's going to be a good movie because they're attached to it, but it's just like, oh great, she's in it.
Yeah.
That's why I get with Mila Kunis and Kristen Bell as well.
Okay.
Like there's
Fantastic.
few people that actually are like, oh good, they're in it. This is going to be good now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. As I say, she's in some films that I do like. She's in some films I've not seen. So
Yeah.
I've not seen one that she's been in and I've disliked her or it.
Yeah.
So
Like the only film that I would say avoid not the plague is American Psycho 2.
yeah, well, yeah, sort of the sequel
boy.
like that, probably would avoid anyway.
Yeah, it's what like it's a really interesting story behind it because she got signed up to it not knowing that it was going to be American Psycho 2. It was actually going to be like this cool, interesting horror, and then they
Right.
literally just went, "Oh, you know that script? Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Here's a new one. Oh, I'm Patrick Bateman's babysitter." No way. I'm the child that was babysat by Patrick Bateman, who raped her and killed her. But
Oh.
Patrick didn't actually kill anyone in American Psycho. But you're making it like you don't even know the story of that shit film. Sorry, Jacoby.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of Jacoby's favorite films.
Ah.
When we
What,
first making up,
American Psycho
Yeah.
2?
no, American Psycho the original.
Okay, right. Well, we'll leave that there then and move on before we start upsetting too many other people. This is
The
going
only
to
thing
be
that
this is
will
the
help.
interesting one. This is the question where the title of the podcast comes from, where someone fires out an answer that is contrary to 98% of other people's general thoughts.
Yep.
So we're up to question number 15. What is the most overrated film?
Easy enough. Ghostbusters is overrated nostalgic bullshit, and anyone that actually likes it is wrong. You don't like it. You just think you like it.
No, I like it.
You don't.
I do.
You just think you like it
No,
because you think that you should like it. You've been
No.
told that it's great. You've been
No,
told
it is
that the
great.
song has permeated. Like this jokes forth, like Bill Murray is the same character he is in every film, and apart from Garfield and Groundhog Day, he's not good in any. It's Ivan Reitman's directing in it is just boring at best. Like the Rick Moranis character is just
Easy for you to say.
dishwater. Sigourney Weaver, why? You're just sex on legs here, love. Like you're not like you're meant to be one of the biggest action heroes, feminines of all time, but you're doing this shit. Why have you degraded yourself? There's nothing to it. And if I hear it one more time that it's the greatest comedy of all time, I'm going to smash my head against the wall because people don't know comedy.
I would agree. It's not the greatest comedy of all time,
But
but I love the film.
because you watched it when you were a child,
Yes,
Yeah, and
But
it's cool,
I watched
flashy
it recently.
colours.
I watched it recently. It's
And you had the endorphin of, oh yeah, this reminds me of my childhood.
yeah, probably yes. Yeah,
The 2016 version is better than the original.
and that made your list. Oh
Like,
my god! To be honest, if they'd have had the balls to show the full version of it, because they cut out Chris Hemsworth's whole song and dance part.
yeah,
They had a little bit of it in there, but there was a whole big number. Put that in there because the cut is so jarring in that film of that part there that I felt like I was missing something.
that movie got
I didn't
destroyed
mind.
because
I didn't mind the
fanboys,
new one. Sorry,
fanboys just ruined that any chance that movie had because it's such a classic, you can't take it. It's like, no, just let other people play with the toys. Go back and enjoy your weird marshmallow men.
Stay Puft. Leave Stay Puft alone. But it's Slimer. How could you not? That was it's.
He's 20 seconds and he's part of a fucking ad over here now.
He's it. Yeah. No, I'm not going to change your mind. It's fine, but
Many people have. I've tried watching it again. I went from it being one of the worst films of all time to now it's just shit. It's not on. There's like 4 films I have on my list at the very bottom. Just like, if anyone actually says they really like these films, I question them because I have very serious reasons why I dislike them.
oh, okay. You've got 5 of these up now. I've got to see if any of these are like. Got them.
All right. First one. Well, this is kind of a twofer. Let the Right One In or Let Me In,
Yeah. No.
and then Kick-Ass.
I've only seen last 20 minutes, I think, of that. Was that Kick-Ass 2? I think it might have even been Kick-Ass 2 or what's that of. But yeah, okay.
The reason why I hate them so much is because they over-sexualize. It's really weird. It's close to the rest, but always gets it. Like, if your movie ever gets into this is the reason why I don't like Stranger Things as well, because they kind of go into this weird path as well. If you try and over-sexualize a child, I'm just like, done. Go fuck yourself. Go die in a fire. Go get gonorrhea and run hell.
Yep, there it is.
Like,
Ding, ding,
there's, you're just, it's just, like, and the worst thing about it, apart from that, I should like Kick-Ass. It's a good plot. It's a fun film. But just because it's a hit girl, I'm there just like, no, this is trash, and anyone that likes it is trash.
Yeah. Okay.
Then the other two are pretty much it's pretty much the work of Alan Moore, but in particular, V for Vendetta and Watchmen. V for Vendetta.
Bores me.
Yeah.
Watchmen
It's
bores
just
me. I tried watching it again not so long ago, just in case I thought I was missing something with it.
Both are pretentious wank.
V for Vendetta, I've only seen it once. I'm in no rush to see it a second time, but
It's just pretentious wank. Just thrown on screen just to like make people that want this. It's one of those ones for people that look at philosophy books on a bookshelf and think they're philosophers like those films. Just because it's that quote from A Fish Called Wanda, just because an ape picks up a copy of Kampf doesn't mean that he's a philosopher.
yeah.
Just because you like V for Vendetta doesn't mean you're a fucking anarchist, like heroic thing. Also, small detail, American wankers. Guy Fawkes was a bit of a bellend.
Yeah.
He was a terrorist.
Yes.
Like, it's like, and the V character is a dick. Like, oh yeah, it's also just a rip off of 1984. It's a poor retelling of 1984.
Yeah.
Just with someone.
Yeah.
If you change the main character, why is my brain? We're recording this after midnight. My brain is dying on me. Winston Smith is the main character in 1984.
Yes.
But yeah, if you replace him with a fucking ninja, that's what V for Vendetta is, but just done very, very poorly.
Yes. A ninja that can't fight that well, though, as well.
Yeah, and it's like the Natalie Portman character is Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
Like the only saving grace that movie has, and there's no saving grace, is Stephen Fry's character. Like, cool, he comes out as gay, does that. Like, that's like the only like 20 seconds of thing, but it's just like, okay, that's actually interesting because he's actually saying something real. The rest of it is just like,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Tangent. So you don't like Ghostbusters?
No, I think it's overrated. Like I said, like Bill Murray, I like Caddyshack Caddyshack is shit in. Like, Rodney Dangerfield is the reason that movie's any reason fun. Like, he's just the same character over and over again. Oh yeah, I get it. You're sarcastic and miserable. Don't like people and you, like, scam people. Great. As I said, like, Garfield's better. Garfield's better because he has to do something a tiny bit different.
Yeah. Okay, as you say, I did grow up with Ghostbusters. It was one of those from my youth, and it is probably nostalgia that's making me like it still, but I do. So you're wrong. It's my show.
Alright, well, it's just going to be live, which is my show, apparently.
Okay, right. Let's flip that on its head. What's your most underrated film?
So this is a film that made me become passionate about film. It's 2007's Control. It's a black and white biopic, I should say, about the life and death of Ian Curtis, the lead singer of Joy Division.
Oh.
This is a film that nobody knows of. It's done by Anton Corbijn, who did nothing after this. He was a music video producer, really. Mm-hmm. He did a few for Joy Division. Joy Division did Atmosphere 4. Then he really went into why am I brain Depeche Mode and all those bands, and like,
right, yes,
and like he did Hot Shaped Box for Nirvana. He did all them, and just like, and then he went. Control was his like first like proper like, this is what I'm doing film.
Yeah.
And then he did like The American, which was alright, Most Wanted Man, but this is like his nail on the ball. This is a perfect film, I find.
Oh, like, okay.
Yeah, Sam Rowley.
Yeah, I've not seen it. I'm not a massive, or wasn't a massive Joy Division fan either, so it's probably one that I've looked at, read the blurb, and thought, not for me.
Honestly, Love Will Tear Us Apart is a fantastic song. The rest of him I can live or die with. But it's the movie itself is just that so much better. Like, Sam Riley as Ian Curtis should have got an Oscar nomination.
Okay.
He embodied that character so well, and it's a crying shame, but he's done nothing apart from the Maleficent series after this. Like, he's done
that's him, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you now. I see. I'm just looking on there. So what he's been in. Yeah, I recognise him now. Now I look at him.
Yeah,
yeah. But no,
and
it's one that I'll probably hunt out if I see it. I'll give it a watch.
It's such a good watch. That it's a movie that obviously it's a real life story, so I'm going to spoil it. Ian Curtis does commit suicide at the end of it. Yeah. It's about his deal with epilepsy, his deal with infidelity, like the rise in popularity of his band mixed with his crime crisis of his just like losing himself to the disease, to his marriage, to his like to the fame. And I don't like. And also just the fact, like, there's some scenes in it that are just too beautiful for words.
Yeah.
Like, it's shot in black and white. It's just like there's so much, like, you can watch it on silent even without the music of Joy Division and it'll still be great.
Okay. Let's see. You've sold me on it. If I see it, I'll watch it. I'll let you know.
I think it's on Now TV, if memory serves.
In which case then it'll be on Sky Movies as well. So
yeah.
I'll have a hunt of that. Fantastic.
Jolly good.
Right, moving on then. Name a film that you like that no one would expect.
This one's difficult because I'm known to have bad taste. Like, it's like the one that when you asked me for it, I did Bring It On.
Yeah. Because
I watched it recently, and I said I think my quote was at the time because I watched Godfather for MBE Live. Bring It On is a better film than The Godfather. Let me explain why.
Okay, right. This is everybody that's listening. You cannot see the disappointment on my face or me shaking my head sadly. Tony. Okay, tell me it. Go on then.
So, for me, it's a better film because Bring It On is just like The Godfather drags on. That scene at the wedding is just way too long for way too much. And then it just loses. It lost me at that point and never really recaptured me. like if I switch on, like I did 4 months of film studies and quit because they kept putting me against this fat guy that kept rubbing my leg. I can take that, like the artistic value of it. Some of the shots are fantastic, the acting in it is great, but it's like, but because I don't go to a movie to watch, like, oh yeah, I want that amazing, like, I want this dramatic crime thriller, like drama. It just doesn't do anything for me. Whereas Bring It On, it's just this like fun watch.
Okay.
And I'm also going through my letterbox now just to say like films that I've got like a 4.5, 5 that might shock people. Like honestly, nothing really. Like Crocodile Dundee maybe as a 4-star.
Yeah, I can live with 3.5, 4. I can live with that.
Like just because no one knows, like the like Center and the Edge, 2 sports documentaries that I have at 4 and 4.5 stars respectively.
Senna, I love Senna.
Like if you should try and watch The Edge, even if you're not a sports fan, because it is about cricket and it is about like when England tried to become the world number 1, which they succeeded, but it's much more about the trial and tribulation of putting yourself into like, we are going to dominate the world, on the mental aspect of it, like what it takes out you physically, emotionally, mentally. That movie is like, and the music as well was done by Felix White of the Maccabees.
Right. Okay.
Like, so it's just a perfect film. Especially, it's one of the best the documentaries that I've seen this year.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it's
so bring it on.
I'm just.
Let's
yeah,
do this.
so bring it on.
We're not getting out of it. This is on your list. I'm going. This is one of these films where there's a single ugly person in the universe, according to this film. It's I'm going through, and yeah, there's until you get to the old people in it, there's not a single
Even
one.
then.
It's yeah. Look, to be honest, I don't mind the film.
It's a lovely watch. The story's great. It has some great performances in it. Kirsten Dunst is great in it. Eliza Dushku deserved more. The Gabrielle Union as well.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Fantastic performances. It's just a fun watch. Like,
yeah, I mean,
and it's
got a great director.
Yeah,
Peyton Reed, I do love.
It's his
Yeah,
first one, like
Ant-Man, obviously Ant-Man 2, and then there he's got good track record with that. I mean, obviously his earlier stuff was more TV by the look of it. He was in he did Jim Carrey's Yes Man and the breakup with was that Vince Vaughn?
Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. Yes Man was a film that like I should have loved it because I loved Daniel Wallace to the point where I joined his country.
Okay.
He did a thing on BBC TV which was How to Start Your Own Country, where he just it was called The Kingdom of Lovely.
Okay.
And it's like I remember just going all in on it. It's like they had a forum. That was like my first real like internet interaction.
Yeah.
So I should have loved that film more because it was about him, and like the book is amazing.
Yeah.
If you've not read Yes Man, read it. It's much more better than the film, but it just didn't work. But yeah, but this question isn't. I can't really say because people expect me to not like good things. But in their eyes, good things like.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm with you. So yeah. No, look, it's a good. I'd call it a Sunday afternoon film.
Yeah,
it's good. It's on there, and it passes the time.
It's a strong 4-star. You can watch it any time. The story's great. The acting's great. The performances are great, and the dance performances are great in it as well. And it's better than The Godfather.
Disappointed sigh. Moving on. What is your favourite classic film? I'm guessing it's not going to be The Godfather then.
No. So mixing in with my love of romantic comedies, I've really got to go with the work of Bill Wilder, especially The Apartment.
Okay.
I don't think there's a better story out there than that.
Okay.
Like just the character of Baxter, just like having the idea of like the person having to come back to sleep in a bed that someone else slept in. Like just like that mental anguish that you go through, and like the comedy of it, like the darkness, especially at the time.
Right.
Because spoilers, Fran's character tries to commit suicide in it in the 60s, which is like this remarkable, like, it was 1960 came out, and she tried to commit suicide, and it was a story about infidelity, and she wasn't the evil character.
I don't think I can't remember watching it. I'm sure I have, because I'm looking at yeah, I don't know if I watched it or not, to be brutally honest. So, but no, sell me on it. Why should I watch this, your favourite classic?
If you like romantic comedies, this is what the forefather of them. Like, Jack Lemmon is probably Jack Lemmon's best performance, I would say, even over Some Like It Hot. Like, Fred McMurray as Sheldrake is probably one of the best villains, especially in a comedy. And it's just the Shirley MacLaine as Fran, and that connection with Baxter and Fran was just so lovely, and it just builds so great, and just like that mixture of just like of her like being in love with someone but doesn't love her back, and like Baxter having to deal with the idea of just like this, like, ruin his own reputation by his neighbours thinking he's a massive cat about town, and just like, and also it's just so much work there, but it just makes it so perfect. And then you add on top of it, it was made in the 50s, released in 1960, and it tells the story of such strong feminism character as well. It's just beautiful.
Okay. Well, I'm slowly but surely working my way through Hitchcock films, so I am getting through some classic ones. I shall get to that, I'm sure, at some point.
You should drop Hitchcock.
I should drop Hitchcock and watch this instead.
Alfred Hitchcock is the reason I'm terrified of birds to this day.
Okay, yeah.
Have I ever told a story?
No. Let's.
So when I was 2 years old,
left to go, but let's sidetrack.
Yeah.
Tangent.
When I was 2 years old, I had a terrible babysitter who left a copy of The Birds in the video player. So I watched that. I saw, because if you ever watch The Birds, it's not CGI or anything like that.
No.
Birds are physically attacking people, and there's a camera.
Yep.
That fucked me up. Then a week later, I went to Blackpool Zoo, eating a sandwich. Seagull takes it. So
wait a minute, Blackpool's got a zoo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does actually. It's really good actually. They've got some of the best elephants in the country. Not as in like these are fantastic rated elephants, but just the area that they have for it is fantastic.
Just women walking the beach.
No, that's the donkeys.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Blackpool Zoo is like the only good thing out of Blackpool. Mainly because they have the locks up a bit too high for the smackheads to get in. Yeah. So a week later, the birds came to life, and I've literally walked away from dates because the swan was in the way.
That's fantastic.
There was a case where I was taking children to a park. I had them in a buggy. Yeah. It was a 3-person buggy, and there was a goose. And I was there just like, what I did was I let one of the children loose, and just went like the most active child, and just said, "You see that? Go get it." Dude ran after it. Goose fucked off, and I was like, "Okay, I'm good now. Come back. Let's put you back in."
That's brilliant. Okay, right. So that's why I shouldn't watch any more Hitchcock films.
Yeah. It'll traumatize your children to the point where they're using smaller children as weapons against evil birds.
Okay. Yeah, you've sold me on it. Okay.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. Right. Name the film with the best soundtrack.
All right. So the one that I sent you, I'm incorrect because it was recency bias, and because the Beatles are great. I chose Yesterday. However, the correct answer is Once.
Okay, what's Once? What is Once?
Once is a film from 2007, if I'm not mistaken. It's an Irish musical. Screw you, Cameron Hostman. It is a musical. 60% of it is music done by John Carney. It has Glenn Hansard, who was a member of The Frames, which is one of my favourite bands of all time. Okay. Makita Igorova. They were playing boy and girl. It's this beautiful love story of two musicians finding each other, making music together. It's just like this beautiful sad story that builds it. You have the songs like Falling Slowly, Say It To Me Now. It's like there's so much music in there. They take a ton from the band The Frames, which
Right.
is a band that doesn't do anything outside of Ireland, but it's one of the greatest bands of all time.
Okay.
In Ireland, the Foo Fighters open for them.
Wow.
So that's how big they are. So like,
Yeah.
Falling Soul won the Oscar for Best Original Song.
Yes.
Like, When Your Mind's Made Up, it's an absolute tune. Falling from the Sky, Say It To Me Now, the song Wants Itself. Like, every song on there is an absolute winner. There's not like, if once this is a movie that I use for dates, if I do like 2 or 3 dates, I'll make them watch once, and if they don't love it, it's over. Goodbye. Here's your coat. I'm legitimately about that. If they don't love once, I see it that their music taste is poor, their movie taste is poor, and I just can't deal with that.
Okay.
Just everything about it is just so beautiful. Like, if you've not like John Carney, obviously you have Sing Street, which is his more prevalent work.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what everyone goes to. But the fact that people don't go to once is a travesty.
Well, I found the song on Apple Music, so I'll have a listen.
Good. And if you like that, I'll literally just destroy you in stuff from The Frames. Like Star is one of the most tragically beautiful songs. Finally is probably the greatest just song of just like this unabashed just explosion of joy song ever.
Okay.
Like, that band can do no wrong in my eyes, and that soundtrack as well. Like, if you want like this. I love this one. So they made a band after the fact called the Swell Seasons with Hanson and Iglova, and all the stuff they did from there as well is just so beautifully done. Just like this folk mix with Irish country, and it's just like, and then the Polish influence, just like the Swell Season, like just anything attached to once is just perfection.
Okay, I'll say I've got that. I'll give it a listen. I'll let you know.
But and then the one that I actually prepped you for yesterday, the Beatles are pretty good, aren't they?
The Beatles ain't bad. They sold a couple of albums. I mean, they're no Prince, but...
Alright, and this has been the Zingy Over.
Alright,
I should have gone with Purple Rain for most overrated, but the fact that people actually dislike Purple Rain, so I'm in the right.
I mean, I am a massive Prince fan, and I don't particularly like Purple Rain, the film.
He's just a little prick that was half decent on a guitar. His voice is shit.
Anyway, so watch the final cut. We're not getting into that conversation. Not now. Not at 20 to 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
No. Okay, we made it to the end. What is your favourite film franchise?
Okay, so franchise for me has to be more than 3 films, so that not disqualifies Toy Story, and for me, this one, it's Rocky.
Okay.
Like, Rocky 1 to 4 is fantastic. Rocky Balboa is really good as well. Like, then moving on to the Creed series, I think it's like Creed is one of the best films to come out recently.
Yes.
And I don't think there's a better story both in and out of movies than the Rocky story.
Both. It's fantastic. I love them. As you say, it has got its stinkers.
No, it doesn't.
It does have its stinkers.
No, hold it. It goes Rocky 1 to 4, then Rocky Balboa, then the Creed.
Yeah, no. No, it doesn't. No, I'm sorry. Tommy the Machine Gun Morrison was in a Rocky film.
No, his name was Tommy Morrison. The character was Tommy the Machine Gun because machine gun.
Yes.
But even with Rocky 5, like, it is a terrible film, but it tells the backstory of Sylvester Stallone. Because when I say Rocky is the best film in and out of cinema, because it tells the story of Sylvester Stallone. He's Rocky.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
like he's the underdog that had to fight Ruth and Tail to get that movie on screen. He had to fight for himself to get on it. Then you see the rise of him in Rocky 2 and Rocky 3. Then the over extravagance of like, I could do no wrong in Rocky 4. Then you have the 90s hit when he crashed, and then Rocky 5.
Yeah.
And then you have that period away. He goes away pretty much. Like, you don't really see, like, he does shit like Spy Kids, stuff like that. Then he comes back with Rocky Balboa, and it's like,
is it Expendables then?
No, it's Expendables was a couple of years after.
Oh, right. I was trying to tie Rocky to a Stallone type. So Balboa, when he comes back, would be
Rocky Balboa was, I think, this about the same time as
Balboa, his
the
Balboa.
Rambo remake.
Oh right, okay. No,
then,
I like all except 5. So as you say, that doesn't exist though, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's
Yeah,
everything about it works. Like, apart from the fact that Paulie has a sex robot.
Yeah, that's not the best. But and Creed, as you say, since revamping it, and it's got to be classed as part of the Rocky franchise because it's got Rocky in it. It's
I was about to say.
It's such a good film, Creed. Considering that what it's got to live up to by being, it could have been just a boxing film. It didn't have to tie in with
No, because boxing films have been and gone after Rocky, and apart from stuff like Warrior, which is like a completely different kettle of fish. Name something that goes in the same spirit of Rocky but has lived. The only thing that you could really say is Real Steel, and even then it wasn't. It's a sci-fi film, and it didn't do as well. Meh, who watched it?
Yes.
No one really watched it. It didn't get that much love, and it's one of those films that if you like, tell me the plot of it.
Southpaw. Let's see. I've got, because there's one. Is that the one that Jake Gyllenhaal? And I can never say his name right. Yeah. So it was the.
Yeah, it's the one where he kills someone, and it's one of those ones where it doesn't come to mind.
Yeah, you're right.
But
okay, it had to be Rocky.
So also the reason why it had to be Rocky as well is because it had that history behind it. Like you had that automatic connection with Adonis. Yeah. Because he was Apollo Creed's son, and it's like if you didn't have that, then it was just working from a ground level that wouldn't have worked really.
No, you've turned me around.
I'll tell you around another way, darling.
No, but the first one, considering what Stallone was when it was being made and when it first came out, and how it is his story, and as you say, he was so poor he had to sell his dog because he couldn't afford to feed it. And he was, and he is Rocky Balboa. There's two stories, that his rise and his upbringing tied in with Rocky's is and Stallone's. It's a very, very good franchise.
One thing I advise to avoid like the plague is that Sylvester Stallone did this thing for one of the DVD releases of Rocky, where Sylvester Stallone met Rocky Balboa.
Oh my God, no!
It's the most weird thing ever, because it's a thing where Rocky knows who Sylvester Stallone is, and they try and play it off where it's like Rocky's a real person Sylvester Stallone played, and it's just like, and then it's just them giving each other pretty much a verbal blowjob for 10 minutes, and they're just like, Sly, what are you doing? It's like you've hit yourself in the head too many times.
Yeah, stop it now.
It's like you probably should have died of cancer in Creed.
Oh, yeah.
No, because like.
No, you're probably right.
I think that's the only way that movie could have gone better if they actually because they teased it and then just let him go, and just like A, he would have won the Oscar 100%, and B, it would have given like Michael B. Jordan the gravitas to go on in future to play him, because there's going to be a time where they are going to have to either kill off the Rocky Balboa character or have to deal with Sylvester Stallone no longer being with us, and it's never going to be as strong as it would have been in Creed.
True, but if they had killed him in Creed, then you couldn't have had Drago for 2.
You could have very easily. You could have, like, it's still the story of him going for revenge against the person honouring Balboa.
Yeah, but I think you needed Rocky there to give the better link with.
You could have had his mum. If you had Drago go to his mother. And it's just like, and then make it more of just like, Drago is now just this more sinister, just like, he's pissed off at the world. He's going after Creed because of Balboa. and he's going after him through his dead father and his mother.
Yeah.
It's like if they went that route, it could have been like, and then like you throw in the whole idea of like the Russian in, like it's because it's that whole thing of Drago in Creed 2 that everyone forgets. Like there is a ton of sympathy that you should have for Drago. He gets his back turned on by his country. Like then he has to, like when he does well, he gets back into good graces, and then you get Bridget Nielsen coming back and all that jazz.
No, absolutely. They should have killed him off. But yeah, now where do you go with it? I mean, there's bound to be a 3. There's bound to be a Creed 3. It's 1 and 2 made enough money and well received. So, but yeah, where do you go? What do you do? Do you write him out now at the end of the Creed trilogy?
You'd lose all the emotional attachment. Like you need to build up again to knock him down. Which, like at that point, you'd probably be looking at like to think out like because they in Creed 2 they really do about the loss of sight and loss of hearing from Bianca's character. Like I would love to see him delve more into that sense loss. Like have Creed lose his eyesight for a majority of the film.
Yeah.
Like have it be the story of this like of a man that requires his eyes and his fists, like lose that, and then it's just like him become a shell of a man, and then when he gradually he gets his eyesight back, because like, and then like it's that thing of, then you have that emotional thing at the end of, do you go back into fighting or do you just like call it a day?
Yeah.
And then because it's a Rocky film, he will go back and fight and win, become world champion again, and you'll never notice that his eyes are dodgy again.
Okay.
You're welcome, people.
Yeah.
I'll take my money.
Okay, we've got it. We've done it. We got to the end. 2 episodes, 20 questions. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, if you like what you're listening to, you can find out all our old episodes on our Facebook page, which is That Made Your List. We are on Twitter at That Made Your. We're on Instagram with the perfect social media mode for a audio podcast. Instagram at That Made Your List. If you want to email the show, you can email us at thatmadeyourlist@outlook.com. I've been Dave Goodger. He's been Tony Heald. And this has been That Made Your List.